What is up, everyone? Tuesday. It's a fine Tuesday. It actually looks beautiful outside, so I'm pretty excited to actually, I don't know, go outside and walk the dog around, and maybe throw the frisbee around. I wish it was. Well, maybe, look, sometimes I could be fooled. Sometimes it looks like it's beautiful, and then you open up the door and it's windy and the trees are flying all around. So I don't really know what it's like, but it sure does look nice outside. What's happening? I got my hazelnut today, my Wawa hazelnut. We are inching our way closer and closer to Philadelphia Phillies baseball. The Flyers last night are an absolute joke. They are a fucking joke. A joke. We got the Sixers tonight. Got a little bit of March Madness, too. How dare I disrespect? Can you hear me fine, by the way? I had to do some things with my audio for Coffee with Brodes. Does it sound okay? Because I can definitely maneuver around. Chris, I get it, Mets fan, but let's not spam too much. Cheers, everyone. Cheers. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, thank you. Thank you. Clean shaved Brodes. Yeah, I know. I went for it. Shame on me. I went for it. It's a little loud, but it sounds good. It's a little loud, huh? All right, well, let's see what happens here. Phillies are winning the division. I don't know about all that. Look, I'm excited, but I don't think they're going to go division on us, right? I don't think we're talking about division winning. What type of coffee today? We're going with the Wawa hazelnut. I did a couple days in a row of the Timmy Hortons, so I made the switch back over to hazelnut for a little bit just to give me a different taste, just to tickle my fancy a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? Phillies are a wild card team. Here's where I have the problem with this, Gray Waves. There's going to be one spot for a wild card in the National League because the Padres are going to snag the other. They're going to be in that NL West, and they're going to be a wild card team. So that means you think the Phillies are going to do better than the Mets, which they can. I'm not ruling that out. I'm not saying that that's impossible, but I do feel like that is a little bit more of a stretch than it is a reality. It can happen. It can happen. I just don't know if I can sit here today and say that it will. Possible, yes. Do I think so? No. I see the Phillies as an 86 kind of team. Maybe the Mets are an 87, 88 kind of team. I don't know. I don't think they're a 90 team, though. That's where they're. I do think that they are setting a high range of 90-ish for the Mets. 90's a little high, but if I see the Phillies at 86, can I see the Mets more in that 88 range? Yeah, maybe. Boston Red Sox is commenting Mets. Now, that's a little interesting. It's a little interesting. Don't you see that there's a problem there? Plus, that was coming from another name just about 5 minutes ago. So, 5 minutes. It's a little bad judgment in time, but 2 more days. I know. I can't wait. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do in center field. And I'm going to do a pod on the 40-man roster. So, if you're ready for some Phillies baseball, I am I'm definitely planning on doing a 40-man roster podcast talking about what I think about the lefty in the bullpen situation, what I think about the center field decision. And the one thing I'll say about the decision in center field that I'm not looking forward to, and I don't want to say everything here because I do want to save some of it for the pod, but the platoon effect of Roman Quinn, Adam Hazley. If you're going to go with Hazley, fine, because Odubel Herrera didn't do enough to solidify his spot, and I can agree with that. He was hitting like 231, all right, 221, 231. It wasn't anything special. You had to be special if you were Odubel Herrera. But I'm not okay with this Roman Quinn getting opportunities against lefties. No. Let Adam Hazley be the guy. And if that fails, then you make a different decision. But don't sell me bullshit on Roman Quinn, all right? Roman Quinn could be a bench guy for speed when you need some pinch running. Other than that, get out of my face. Get out of my face. That's how I see it. My bandana is all messed up. It's bothering me. Been a little bit of a rough morning here. Look at it. Folding over. Final record, 86 wins. 86 wins, I think, for the Phils. Phillies need to sign Story next year. That'll take him to the playoffs. They can sign. They need pitching, man. They need pitching. I think in terms of where they're at with the field, yes, they can get better. And trust me, I'm not trying to make it seem like they don't need a Trevor Story. They can utilize all the weapons that they can get. But what I was trying to bring up here is the fact that you need to make sure you solidify more of that starting pitching and even some of that bullpen as well, for sure. Can Hazley hold center field? I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I'm willing to find out, but I'm not sure. They already assume that he can't hit lefties. Why? We've been through this so many times. He's had about 62 at-bats against lefties. He's hitting around 240. He's not hitting 180. If he's hitting 180, fine. We can have that discussion. But he's not. At least give him a chance. Yeah, Stott had a beauty of a bomb. Beauty of a bomb yesterday. Just a good, pure swing. Took it deep, too. But yeah, Bryson Stott's nowhere close to being ready. By the time Didi Gregorius' contract is up in a couple of seasons, maybe Bryson Stott could slide right in, and then you can have your Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm left side of the infield. How about that? Playing third and short. Yeah, Harper did have a bomb yesterday, and it was amazing. Now, what's not amazing is the headband today. So we're going to have to toy around with some things. We're going to do a little headband with Brodes while we talk some sports. How about that? Has anyone said when Embiid's coming back? Nope. And I told you that was going to be the issue when everything happened, right? I said, make sure you're aware. Make sure you understand. You're not going to see him in a little bit of time, and you're not going to hear any news. Watch, we're going to hear some news today. Just for me saying that. Now, let's fix this damn bandana. I think Michigan and Gonzaga are going to win tonight. That's going to be fun as hell. Fun as hell. If that ends up being the matchups. I thought last night was pretty entertaining, though. I got sucked into that Arkansas-Baylor game pretty good. The problem I had with it, Arkansas was battling, right? Let's see here. I'm doing this on the fly. See what we got. See what we got. Sad 2 or 3 come back. What do you mean? How will Spencer Howard do this year? I don't know. We're not going to be able to watch many AAA alternate site stuff. Ooh, I didn't have to do that, did I? Yeah, Mitchell was disgusting. Well, what happened when Arkansas they got that foul trouble in that second half? You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. You know what else I tuned into last night? I tuned into that UConn game in the women's. That was a fucking good basketball game, man. I'll tell you what. That was a good basketball game. There you go. We're getting a little bit better. I don't know. We're working with it here. Bear with me. That women's game last night was fucking good, man. Good game of hoops. Very fun. It's sad that was a game in that round. Like, that game should have been, those two teams should have matched up. Not that, like, I'm not your women's college basketball expert, but in terms of the rankings, that was something that was discussed yesterday. But I'll tell you what. Yeah, I did. I blocked them. I blocked the Mets clown. But yeah, dude, I don't know if anyone caught the UConn game, but I'll tell you what. Highly, highly, highly entertaining. Came down to the wire. That was a foul. You got to call the foul. I'm a big fan of making sure you let the players play it out, right? Let the players play it out. But then there's a line where obviously they cross that line. Yeah, this person has like 300 accounts, so we're just going to block every time it pops up. Joe Flacco gets to... So Gabe Kepler is in here saying that Joe Flacco gets Eagles to 10-plus wins this season. Gabe Kepler makes an appearance. Can't say I missed that individual. Although you'll see him pretty early in the season because I think it goes Braves, Mets, Cardinals, Giants with the season. So with that being said, looks like you'll see Gabe Kepler with those stupid fucking aviators, with that dumbass chain that hangs from his pants with his one leg up on the steps in the dugout. Ew. Makes me want to punch him in the face. How about this? Brodes, I am with you on Howie making the right move. What's going to make it better is if Howie makes the right decision. Yeah, the thing is, it's separating the two. All right, that is just embarrassing for someone to even make that type of name in the chat. I mean, shame on you. With Howie Roseman, there's two different ways it's two different sections, two different steps. I'm sorry, that comment just threw me off for a loop here. You have either, let's reset. Let's hit the reset button. Let's hit the reset button. All right. Yeah, Pags, I'm going to make you a mod. Can I do that through? I might have to do that through a different platform right now. And I don't know if I am able to do that from where I'm at right now. But Pags, I'm definitely going to do that for the future, just to let you know. Okay, back to Howie Roseman, making the right move. This is the right move to help your franchise get in the right spot. Now, part two is an execution factor of it for sure. But before you get to part two, there has to be a part one. I support part one. That doesn't mean I'm going to support part two because I've seen this happen with the Justin Jefferson thing, with the CeeDee Lamb thing specifically. And I brought this up in the podcast I did last night, which was I love Howie Roseman's move more and more as the days continue. So my point was I would rather have Jalen Reagor and Jeremy Chinn, two players, Jalen Reagor and Jeremy Chinn, over just CeeDee Lamb. So the process of having a first and a second last year, I support that logic. That step one, keeping your picks is step one. I am okay with step one. Step two was drafting Jalen Hurts. I don't support that. Bro, you're an idiot. See, this is what you get for saying that Howie Roseman should have kept that first-round pick and second-round pick instead of moving up for CeeDee Lamb. No, that made sense. Staying there made sense. Making sense. That makes sense. Not going up to get CeeDee Lamb still made sense. The problem was getting Jalen Hurts didn't. But Reagor and Chinn, that does. So the mindset before picking Hurts was not flawed. Same here. The process of trading down makes sense. If they draft some nobody and they fuck it all up, that doesn't make sense. But the idea of getting more picks makes sense. So just because they screw up the second half of it doesn't mean what they did in the first half doesn't have logic. It does have logic. Bros, I don't know if you saw this yesterday. All the the Flyers defense standing in front of Brian Elliott. There was the other play where it was Phil Myers, Shane Gostisbehere, and all the forwards on the right side of the wall. And there was no one even close to anybody on the other side. They went D to D, and then they scored 5 on Brian Elliott. So, yes, there was some embarrassing photos last night with the Philadelphia Flyers. Will Devontae Smith be there at 12? I think Devontae Smith is going to be available at 12. You're possibly going to have Jalen Waddle available at 12. You can get a cornerback in Horn at 12. There's talent at 12. You can find talent. This same organization found a game-changing impact player at 12. He goes by the name of Fletcher Cox. There is game-changing talent at 12, and there's great talent at 12. It doesn't have to specifically be game-changing talent. If you get great talent at 12, and then you get great talent in the first round next year, where it's not elite game-changing, but you get 2 great talents, that's still phenomenal, and that's still big. The problem is people aren't going to see that draft pick right now, which is going to skew how they feel. Yet next year, when you realize, hey, we have 3 first-rounders or 2 firsts and 2 seconds, you're going to have a totally different mindset on it, and you're going to appreciate it. You're just not willing to appreciate it right now. That's the problem. What's the percentage of Flyers make the playoffs? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about Flyers playoffs. That's how bad they are. That's how disgusting they are. Smith, if they're at 12, you got to take. Yeah, I think if Smith's there, if Waddle's there, you still get that player. it'll be funny how, because everyone's in on Pitts, everyone's in on Chase, and I get that. That's who they wanted at 6. But if you are going to get a Devontae Smith and get a first-round pick, like if I told you you can have just Jamar Chase or you can have Devontae Smith and a first-round pick for next year, how are people thinking? And take away the Howie Roseman side of it. Because that's why people hate it. People hate it because Howie made the decision. If Bill Belichick made it, if Mike Tomlin made it, if any of these coaches that people respect make it, and I know there's GMs in Pittsburgh and there's GM, like I'm saying though, everyone thinks of those guys, smart guys in football. If guys that are more respected to you personally makes that type of move, how does that change the way that how it's viewed? And it does significantly, in my opinion. Will the Giants pass on Smith too? Well, that's a good question because Dallas is going to take a corner, we would imagine. There's not that much space left on that offense when you look at Amari Cooper, when you look at CeeDee Lamb, when you look at these other players, and maybe that's a good thing. Like maybe if we go back to last year, the fact that the Cowboys were the team to get CeeDee Lamb, that limited them to go out and get let's say something falls on their lap here, Devontae Smith, and he becomes an absolute stud, and CeeDee Lamb is just a good wide receiver. Well, guess what? Maybe it actually benefits you for what happened last year with them grabbing CeeDee Lamb, because with hindsight, after you see what could have happened this season, the Cowboys missed out on a different type of talent. Who knows? We won't know. That's why everyone says there's 3 years of a window before you can really make an assessment on a draft class. I'm just throwing it out there. It is very possible. The Giants, though, they have you don't know fully where they're going compared to where the Cowboys seem to be trending, right? It's a little bit more of an open book, I guess you'd say. The Cowboys pick 10, the Giants pick 11, the Eagles pick 12. Who do you think, in your opinion, we draft? There's too many routes to go. I don't know. I don't have that information. You're either going to go wide receiver, you're going to go corner. Horn is a name that's in a lot of mock drafts. So you can have the corner and Horn. If Devontae Smith falls your way, if they were going to look at a Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase, that has to be an option. Who knows? Is it possible if Parsons goes to that area, they go after Parsons and they get a playmaker that you can build your offense or your defense around, for years to come? I mean, drafting a first-round linebacker isn't something that I anticipate seeing, but is it possible? Sure, I guess it's possible. I guess the Eagles will go 7-10. What does that mean? Oh, their record because of the 17th game. If they go 7-10, sign me the fuck up. I'd be fine with 7-10 this year. Everyone's talking about how they're going to be a 3-win season, a 2-win season. Give me 7 wins. If they win 7 games this year, do you know Howie Roseman at that point would have to be looked at as, it wasn't that bad. They win 7. And I did this poll yesterday. And I brought it up a few times now. It was a social experiment. And the fact that people actually voted for option 1 is sick. It's sick in the head. It's an issue with fans. It really is. So I said, let's do a social experiment, right? I don't know if you guys saw this on my Twitter, @Brodes81. Option 1, the Eagles fail miserably, so Howie Roseman is fired. That's option 1. As you could imagine, people did vote for that. Option number 2, the Eagles turn things around within the next 2 seasons. When you have 2 years of drafts, a lot of cap money, which means you have to actually admit, hey, maybe Howie Roseman wasn't as bad. So those are your 2 options. We had over 325 votes. we'll go 68 to round up. 68% of people said they would rather turn things around within 2 years of drafts. The Eagles fix their cap problems. You get all this cap money to spend, and you have to admit Howie Roseman is not bad. 32% would rather suck and blow it up than fail miserably. Or they'd rather suck, blow it up, fail miserably, and Howie Roseman gets fired. Here's why that makes no fucking sense to me. That is embarrassing. There's something wrong in your head if you'd rather that happen. You'd rather, I'd rather Howie Roseman suck than Howie Roseman be good. Why wouldn't you want Howie Roseman to be good? Why? Then your team is good. The franchise is good. What's the ultimate goal here? Is the ultimate goal for you to be right? Is the ultimate goal for Howie Roseman to suck? Or is the ultimate goal to win a fucking championship? It's like my take on Furkan Korkmaz. Even though I know he's bad, and I know he's abysmal, and I know he's garbage, if he's not, I don't sit here and say I'd rather if it takes. Let's go here. If it takes Furkan Korkmaz to be good and me being wrong for the Sixers to win a championship, no, that's not going to be the case. But if that is the case, you think I'd rather Furkan just be fucking horrendous than the Sixers win a championship? No, I would step aside and say, you know what? Furkan hit 3 game-winning buzzer beaters in the NBA Finals. I was wrong. I'd rather that happen because Howie's always been horrible. Well, that's not true. Let's look at the last 20 seasons of Eagles football and tell me that Howie's always been wrong. He's been bad. There hasn't been strong spots as of late. He is on a downward little spot right now. But he has had a lot of success in this league as a general manager. You don't like that answer, but it's a reality of the situation. He has not always been horrible. He's been bad as of late. He's not been always horrible. He's had success. He's always been horrible, yet he won a Super Bowl. He's never had success. Okay, so he won a Super Bowl, but he's never had success. Never had success, won a Super Bowl. That is fucking horrendous. You might not like the guy, and that's fine. You don't have to like the guy. To say he's never had success, you're just a moron. I'll just keep it honest with you. You're a moron. Oh, so now you're changing it up. He's never been successful drafting. The problem, see, now it's like you're changing everything, right? He's never had success. He's never had it. Well, he's had it, but he's never had it drafting. So the things start changing a little bit. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's been bad as of late. But we do know, here's the information, right? So let's compile everything together, and then let's look at this logically. How many stories have come out about Jeffrey Lurie? How many stories have come out about J.J. Arcega-Whiteside and how he stepped in and picked him? I'm not a Howie guy. I'm just not like an idiot. Like I can assess all the information and say, you know what? Maybe it is time for Howie to go. Maybe it is bad for Howie Roseman. Yeah, okay, so Howie Roseman's leaking information about Jeffrey Lurie? That doesn't make sense. Howie does release a lot of information, but it's not about Lurie. It's about other things. Like, if you're going to release it, it's not going to be because of the owner. It would be because of other things. The Super Bowl was given to him. That's what we're talking about, you bozo? The draft? No, we weren't. We were talking about Howie Roseman because that's where people are lost. As if that's the only thing. That's the only thing GMs do is draft. The main problem is Howie should have been fired after this season. Again, I'm okay with Howie Roseman not being here. You can fire Howie Roseman and it be justifiable. But here's the reality of the situation. He's here, and he'll have the next 2 years to prove himself. This is proving territory. But knowing that we're in that spot, we're in that spot. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain that Howie this, Howie that at this point. This is what's here. So with what's here, what are they going to do to get themselves out of it? And so far, they've done a good enough job to make me, look, there's a plan. I see a plan. They got to execute the plan, but I see a plan. I see the plan. Look at what they're doing with acquiring all these picks. They can go in so many different directions. They can draft all the young talent with the 20 picks in the next 2 years. They can compile that and make a move like they did to go out and get Wentz and get their franchise quarterback. Yeah, you know what? They messed up. They did. They messed up this whole Carson Wentz debacle. But if you told me in one season, they somehow get back into the top of a draft and draft another possible franchise quarterback and change it around within one season, that actually deserves praise because it takes franchises years and years and years and years to find that guy again. after a disaster happened. So if they find a way to spin it all around within 1 year, you'd actually have to give him credit for it. He traded Wentz for nothing. Okay, nothing. Well, then once again, I mean, you don't, like, circumstances matter. Carson Wentz didn't want to be here. Carson Wentz wanted out of here. At that point, you don't have much leverage. You could have got a first-round pick. That was the market. It's not Howie traded him for nothing. Carson Wentz went for Carson Wentz's market. That's a difference. It's not like he had all these options and there were 3 first-rounders on the table for Wentz and all these first-round picks, and he ended up getting a conditional pick that could possibly be a first. You can only get what you can get. That was the market for Carson Wentz. Like, you just expect Howie to make, like, all these moves. It's crazy. I'm not even a Howie guy, and you're out here being so stupid that it makes me feel or sound like I'm being a Howie guy. I'm not even a Howie guy. I said it from the jump. It's the Andy Reid thing for me. When Andy Reid was gone, I knew that it was time for Andy Reid. But I didn't think Andy Reid sucked as a head coach. It was time. With Howie Roseman doesn't absolutely suck as a general manager, but it's time for a fresh voice, fresh new regime, fresh new identity, a fresh general manager, just a whole new identity surrounding the franchise. I can support that. I'm cool if Howie Roseman gets fired. I'm all right with it. I really am. I'm not some Howie Roseman stan, but he's not as bad as what half of these morons out there think. It's just how this fan base is at times. It's crazy. Okay, Howie's the worst drafting GM in football, yet they've had one of the most successful franchises over 20 years. I don't think those two correlate. Now, it hasn't been phenomenal by any means. Worst ever. Worst in football, no. Look at all the other organizations. 1-win seasons, 2-win seasons, 3-win seasons. And since Jeffrey Lurie bought the team, I heard a stat that since he bought the team, they averaged 9 wins a season. Go look at history and see what in that span, how that relates to the rest of the league. Guess what? It's at the top. It's in the top conversation. People don't like to hear it, but it is reality. One of the most successful franchises? What a joke. Well, you can hold your own L then. If you think the Eagles have not been a successful franchise, well, then you just don't understand sports. You don't understand how it works. They've had one of the most sustained runs in football over the last 20 years. Hate to break it to you. It's called success. Every year you enter a football season going what? Saying what? They could win the division. Now, this is the first year in a long time, and sure, they're rebuilding, and they're admitting it that they're rebuilding. They are in this ugly situation. But every year, you think you have a chance. Hold your one Super Bowl. It's been a while. Okay, that's fine. I saw sustained success for over 20 years, my friend. I'm a Washington fan. Have been very successful franchise. That is correct. The Eagles have been very successful. It'll all be over if Howie isn't gone. But that makes no sense. So the Eagles have been very successful. It'll all be over when Howie's gone. Yet Howie was here during this entire successful run that you are even talking about. It's crazy. It's crazy. Oh, so this L is a fan of the Browns, yet he's talking shit. Unreal. Since 2005, this is according to Christian. I'm not going to fact check you. I'm just going to believe you here. Since 2000, 5 NFC championship games, 2 Super Bowl trips, 1 Super Bowl, and more than 15 playoff wins. I know. I'm with you. How much longer do you think Fletcher Cox plays? Well, he's definitely hitting the back 9. That's for sure. Definitely hitting the back 9 on us. Oh, man. What a way to start the morning, huh? I did not anticipate that type of blow to get us going here, but I like it. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy how one extreme people are to the next. What the fuck is even going on? I don't know. People just overreact to how others are. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Howie's not even having a good stretch right now, but people are just... We won the Super Bowl in spite of Howie. Okay, well, unfortunately, that's not actually true. But if you are entitled to believe what you want to believe, if that helps you sleep at night, you can do that. You can do that. All right, so this is a question here from Richard. Do you think Howie deserves the benefit of the doubt? You can't see why we have our doubts with Howie? No, I can see why you have doubts with Howie. But do you see how I approach it compared to he's the worst ever? They didn't win the Super Bowl because of him. They were doing it to spite him. Like, no. Andy Reid left town because it was time for him to leave town. He had success when he was here. He was doing good at his job prior to the season where it went a little bit downhill. But it was time for a change. But we all admitted that Andy Reid, not all, because there were morons then too, let's be realistic, but it was time for Andy Reid to go, acknowledging that he was still strong at his job. With I almost said Chuck Fletcher because I'm reading your name, Richard Fletcher. With Howie Roseman, it could be time to go. That's fine. I'm not making the argument that he has to stay by any means. If they move on from him, I am 1,000% in support of that move. But he doesn't blow like everyone thinks he blows. That's all. There's a big difference, though. The worst GM in the history of football and saying that, you know what, the last couple of years haven't been good, haven't been strong enough. Let's go in another direction. Those are two different messages. That's where I'm at. Well, there's a lot more to. So let me ask you this. If you have a general manager that's good at a lot of things, good in many, many, many areas, which is what you need in this job, and he's bad at one, why can't you because what I would do if I'm the owner at that point, this is what I would do. So I have someone who's so good in many areas. He's so good at manipulating money, so good with contracts, so good with all of it. And he might struggle here. Well, you can utilize that person that is very good in the money side of things and still help upgrade the drafting side of things without just kicking one out of town because he's bad at one thing. You try and build internally with all your holes being filled. So, but yeah, you would keep that side of Howie Roseman. You would keep for that of it, and then you would help out and try and get someone that can help out with the draft more and get with the more personnel and things of that nature. You wouldn't just get rid of someone who does so many things well just because he does one thing bad. That's like if you're good at your job, if you do finance and you're good at 9 out of 10 things and you're bad at that one thing, do you deserve to get absolutely canned because you're just one thing's wrong? Or do you try and fix it where if I'm a boss of that finance group, I'd like, okay, well, he doesn't do this one thing right. Who can I hire to help us in that one area while keeping someone who's strong in 9 areas? Just looking at it that way. Now, I'm not defending his drafting at all. I literally just said he's good in other areas, not good in one area. Does that mean you fire him because he's not good in one area? The narrative of Howie being an all-time poor drafter is a textbook example of recency bias. Absolutely. But it's the most important thing? Why is it the most? You're telling me money and in a salary cap league? In a salary cap league, that's the most important thing. I would disagree. I would absolutely disagree. Now, that helps you. It's part of staying under the cap and getting young talent and things of that nature. Sure, it helps you, but it's not the most important thing. They're all valued in a piece of the pie just as much as others. So I would disagree with that. It's the most important thing. It's part of the pie. It's absolutely part of the pie. It's not the whole thing, though. That's why people hate us. We take it too far sometimes. Yeah, well, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. We loved him in 2017. There was a Howie season. A Howie season. I didn't make that up. Howie season. That was a thing. Who created that? It wasn't Howie Roseman. Look at the successful teams in history. Well, look at the Eagles. Look at the Eagles. That's your example. That's what you want to look at. The Eagles. You want to be the Eagles. Well, all right. There you go. $5 donation coming in from Just Call Me Flair. I'm forever grateful for everyone who called themselves Philadelphia Eagles in 2017. I won't accept Howie Hate. Well, now this is funny. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. This reminds me a little bit of my Ben Simmons stuff. If I talk to someone that hates Ben Simmons, I'm a Ben Simmons lover. If I talk to someone that loves Ben Simmons, I'm a Ben Simmons hater because they take it to an extreme. Like, I won't accept Howie Hate. I can accept not liking Howie Roseman. It's how it comes across. You don't have to like Howie. I can see why people don't like Howie. I can see why they're not accepting of Howie Roseman right now. I can understand that part of it. It's what level of extreme do you take it to? You can't say that there can't be any blame towards Howie. You can't say that he deserves all the credit in the world for 2017, so you can't blame him for anything that's happening now, right? There's a line that you can't cross. So I won't accept Howie Hate is going to that extreme of, okay, now you're crossing the line. You can analyze Howie Roseman's recent decisions. You can assess what's happened. You can discuss how that hasn't been good, and you can apply that to the downfall of where the Eagles are now. But once you get to the point of he knows nothing, he's abysmal, he's the worst we've ever seen, he's absolute garbage, like that's where you go too far to the other side. So it seems like Just Call Me Flair is saying, I won't accept it at all. I'll accept it. It's how you say it. It's the approach. It's the discussion point. It's, hey, Howie has had success, but he hasn't had it enough recently. Is it time to change things? That's different. That's different. But thank you so much for the $5 donation. I really do appreciate it. Oh, man. Well, I mean, it was an organizational failure. To put this on one individual is nonsense. Doug Peterson had a terrible season. Carson Wentz had a terrible season. The offensive line was beat up big time. Jeffrey Lurie was a major problem. I even said this. Last year, 25% goes on Doug, 25% goes on Wentz, 25% goes on Lurie, 25% goes on Howie Roseman. Last year, when you look at the pie, for me, the way I see it is, that was just an organizational failure from top to bottom. 25, 25, 25, 25. All of it. All of it. So the way we say it is not to your liking, so the way we say it is not, yeah, because it's taken to like an extreme. Keep Howie for contracts and get a new GM that can evaluate players, or vice versa. Keep Howie Roseman as GM, and you get someone who can play or evaluate and help with the draft, kind of like they did with John Dorsey, although John Dorsey left because he realized there wasn't a room for improvement and things of that nature. But looking at their trade from a rival perspective, it worries me. Y'all can still get Devontae Smith and get 3 studs next year. I don't know how you hate it. Well, people get too sucked in. They don't like the person who made the move. It's not the move. It's not the move. Because the move, there's no way that you can hate the move. Like, if you're a smart sports fan, there's no way that you can hate the actual first step of the move. You can hate the second, but the first step of the move, you can't hate. People don't like who made the move. If Daryl Morey made this move, it's the best move ever. If Dave Dombrowski made a move, it's the best move ever. If Chuck Fletcher made it, it's the best move ever. If Howie Roseman makes the move, it's the worst move ever. All right, so there's that. There's the Howie Roseman discussion that I did not anticipate, 1, even getting into today, and 2, taking it to that extreme. So someone asked, we're Phillies fans, we're extreme people. Yeah, and I think it's moronic, to honestly, to a degree. Love the move, but love Pitts. Yeah, that's fine, but it comes down to, what if you can get Devontae Smith and another player? Devontae Smith this year and another player. Waddle and another player next year in the first round over Pitts. Would you rather just have Pitts or Devontae Smith plus? Goes back to last year. Would you rather have just CeeDee Lamb or Jalen Reagor and Jeremy Chinn? I'd rather have Reagor and Jeremy Chinn. You might think Reagor stinks. I think it was more of a product of the surrounding last year of one of the worst historical performances from a quarterback, one of the worst coaching seasons I've seen in quite some time, and a ton of injuries. More so than Jalen Reagor just flat out can't play whatsoever. I don't think Pitts falls to 12, but could you imagine if he did? Could you imagine if the Eagles get Pitts and the first round pick for next year? Would Howie get any praise then? That's amazing. That is amazing. That would be so funny. Are you going? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was a Jeffrey Lurie pick, not a Howie Roseman pick, and that is very well documented. So that was a Jeffrey Lurie pick. The owner picked him. Very well documented from everyone who covers the Eagles inside. Are you going to follow Carson Wentz anymore now that he left? Yeah. I mean, as much as people want to say Because how many times do we hear this? Oh, it's like your ex-girlfriend, someone who's so mentally obsessed with their ex-girlfriend. Why are you so obsessed with Carson Wentz? He's not here anymore. Well, because it's a big part of where the franchise is right now. The Carson Wentz dilemma, the Carson Wentz drama, the Carson Wentz debacle is still a part of the Philadelphia Eagles story right now, to the point where, yeah, you have to follow him. You have to see how he plays out. If he becomes a mess, you look at it completely different. If he becomes a stud, you think about it completely different. So it needs to be a different situation where, your opinions change based off of Carson Wentz's play. And also Carson Wentz, yeah, that's a big part of it. You still have to check in on what's going on, of course. And I'm rooting for him. I'm not a Carson Wentz hater by any means. Oh, so now Pitts would be bad. Pitts would be such a bad pick now. But before this, Pitts is one of the most dynamic players ever. That's so funny. That's so funny. I want Carson to play and win a Super Bowl. Yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Carson Wentz goes out and wins a Super Bowl. Wouldn't bother me at all. What's up with the Flyers, Brodes? No defense? I know. I'm with you. I'm trying to maneuver our way around it a little bit. Yeah, their defense is, you never liked Pitts. Well, if you never liked Pitts, well, then you are an uneducated football fan. To say you don't like Pitts. You never liked Pitts? I mean, have you seen the kid play? Jesus Christ. What's up with the Flyers? No defense. Yeah, their defense is just terrible. Defense is just terrible. He's not a tight end, though. He's just an offensive player. And first off, do you watch football in this era? Have you seen 12 personnel sets? Have you seen how the offenses are ran these days and what you can do and what creativity? Now, I don't know if Nick Sirianni is going to be that. I don't know. And that's a coach that was hired by the owner. So the owner hired this man, and that's the owner's job, hire Nick Sirianni. I don't know what type of offense you're going to see, but Pitts has lined up more than just a tight end. Pitts has been utilized in so many different ways, and he can be. So he's not just the tight end. He's all over the place, and he's a stud. I mean, he's a flat-out stud. Yeah, he's a positionless player. And nowadays, to have that, I mean, Zach Ertz and Goddard, to say that wasn't beneficial to your team. Oh, we didn't need Goddard because we had Ertz. Did you see the way that you can use both tight ends and how important that is to an offense? It's the same thing with Pitts. Okay, you're entitled to your own opinion. I'm done with DH for the day. You are entitled to your own opinion. If you think it's a horrible idea, by all means, you can say it's a horrible idea. They're not going to get him anyway, so it's somewhat irrelevant. What do I think about the 17-game season? Yeah, it's going to be different. It's going to be a different dynamic now, 7-10. Oh, Goddard was a bad pick. I mean, Jesus Christ. Goddard was a bad pick. So now when Zach Ertz is on the back stretch, you have a very athletic, unbelievable tight end, and all of a sudden, that was such a bad idea. I mean, come on, dude. Just come on. What do you think about the 17-game schedule? I'm not a big fan. I understand where the NFL is going. I thought I heard some great points about it where it comes to you might it's great in theory. Oh, you're going to have more football. What's wrong with more football? Well, guess what? When you see seasons like the Eagles had last year, and when you see all these guys getting injured and all these people getting banged up, you're just going to see a terrible version of football. You're going to be seeing a banged up 17th game. Oh, do I want to see a banged up 17th game? No. And I think the more and more these guys play, you're getting more football, but are you getting a better product of football? I don't know if you necessarily are, and that's the difference. That's the difference. Nolan Patrick gone? What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean Nolan Patrick's gone? I have seen nothing in terms of Nolan Patrick being gone. Wish we had a 20-game season? I don't. That would be terrible. The more football, does that mean better football? There's probably worse quality. The more games you get, the worse quality you're getting, to be honest with you. Do the Flyers let Voracek walk to Seattle? Well, they need to take that contract. It ain't up to the Flyers. Is he going to be available? Yeah, maybe he's available, but I don't think he's going to get picked up. Look at that contract. The last I remember is Oh, no, I think I just blocked someone I didn't want to block. I did. I blocked Arm Zebra. Can I unblock Arm Zebra? I need to unblock Arm Zebra. I apologize, Arm Zebra. I accidentally blocked you. I was trying to block the other guy. So I might, man, how can I fix that? I might not be able to do that until after. I might not be able to do that until after. I apologize. I really, really do. There's got to be a way, right? Guests? No banned guests? Fuck. I'll figure it out. I promise. Arm Zebra, I will figure it out. I promise. Someone asked if Nolan Patrick. Oh, yeah, Nolan Patrick should absolutely. Why block? How long's the block last? Because there's a difference between block and a timer. Everyone's rip Arm Zebra. This is terrible. This is terrible. There should be a list of people banned. Yeah, I know. There's a difference between my. Are we going to do this together? Are we going to work this out to save him? Are we doing like a little CPR? Because everyone's going rip in the chat. So are we doing a little CPR now on it live to save our friend? All right, let's go to. There's got to be it because I'm doing it through StreamYard. But is StreamYard through YouTube? Can I find it? Customization. Settings. Community. Moderators. Arm Zebra. I got him. He should be back. Now, Pags, I want to make you a... I got it. That was pretty damn simple. All right, so what we need to do, can we get Arm Zebra in the chat? Can we get a little Arm Zebra in the chat? Can we please see him speak? Now, what I do need to do... Here he is, baby! Get a round of applause here for Arm Zebra. All right, so what we need to do here is get some mods. Pags, what's your YouTube name? Is it just Alec Pags? I don't think it works like that. Pags, I need your Alec Pags. I need your YouTube name. It's not popping up. What's your actual YouTube name? Because I got to make a mod. I'm glad we can do that together, everyone. Yeah, I don't know why it's not popping up. Alec Pags. I'll figure it out. I'll do that later. But yeah, we do need I want to let you know I will troll any trolls. Well, thank you for trolling any trolls. Yeah, I'm typing your name out. It's not working, but we'll figure it out. I'll do that later on. But anyway, I'm glad we made it. I'm glad we made it. I think Knapp is going to hit over 20 bombs. Well, that is just one hell of a take. I appreciate you for feeling that way. I really do. Oh, man, what a day I'm having. What a day. What a way to start the day. You know, I always say when I go bandana, it's a statement for the day. Like what I wear is a statement. And I'm going to attack the day is the headband statement. And we did more than just attack the day with that Howie Roseman conversation to start my morning for sure. Yeah, someone is making. Imagine wasting your time that much to get blocked within 3 seconds of doing it. God bless you. It's like I respect the hustle, but at the same time, like, God damn. Brodes, did you know you wanted to get into sports podcast business growing up? No, actually, that's interesting. So when I was real young, real little, I wanted to be a dentist. Why? Because my dentist used to wear pajamas. Had nothing to do with actual job. Had nothing to do with wanting to look inside someone's teeth. It had everything to do with the fact that I just wanted to wear pajamas. Then I wanted to go full gym teacher. Now, imagine Brodes, full gym teacher mode, swishy pants, switchy jacket, Nikes. We play dodgeball, basketball. What else could we do? Wiffle ball. I guess we could do a little bit of that. Kickball. We'd have a good time with it, right? So I was going to be a... God, man. I wanted it to be to the point where I was a gym teacher. I'm about to sneeze. Ooh, excuse me. We gotta make sure that this is hitting a different level now. This is hitting a different level. How is there a way for me to be able to? There you go. Do something like that. I changed some settings, so maybe that'll change some things. Drew, I see your donation in a second. I just want to finish the career thing off. So yeah, then I wanted to be a gym teacher, just kick it, play some sports, be the cool gym teacher, and then from there I realized when I was playing college hockey that I love sports radio. So kind of went in that way. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to work on. I'm trying to. Yeah, there probably are ways to do certain things. We're going to make a big adjustment here for next time. Have I gave up on Carter Hart? This is Giroux with a $4 donation. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Why would you give up on Carter Hart? Isn't it obvious that the problem is everything in front of Carter Hart? If you get that, you get a better goalie play. I mean, Brian Elliott was left out to dry at times. Like they only won because the Sabres sucked. They didn't win because the Flyers were that good. Like that wasn't a product of the Flyers being amazing. That was a product of the Sabres losing 18 straight games. If you give up on Carter Hart, that's just crazy. Now I'm sorry. Now I'm like looking at settings and what can block words. Yeah, let's see this. Yeah, there are ways to block words. So I'm doing that thing here. That was a sweet feed from Couturier to Drew. Yeah, it was. It was nice, definitely. I mean, they did make plays. You do have to credit their veteran core for stepping up, and AV pretty much said to them before the game, you better do it. You better do it. And they did. And he said, look, I'm not letting the young cats be the reason why you win, why not. That's not about that. It's about you guys stepping up. All right, well, they did. So you do have to give them credit, but at the end of the day, I mean, you played the Buffalo Sabres. Thank you, Drew, for the $4 donation. To answer your question, have I given up on Carter Hart? No. He's special. He's a great goalie. That's why everyone stressed it from the beginning. 22 is strange. It's not normal. This is odd. This isn't how it goes. This is not acceptable to the normal lifestyle here. This is not what organizations do for a reason. They don't throw 20-year-olds in the net. That's why. Because it's a journey. It's an emotional ride. You're going to get figured out. You're going to have to remake an adjustment. Is Giroux a UFA? No, he's got another season after this one, I believe. I believe he's got this season, next season. He's got a no-trade clause, though, so he ain't going anywhere. Yeah, so he's got this year, next year, and then he's a UFA. So that's where we are at. Yes, the defense is definitely the biggest problem. Yeah, so unfortunately, this individual ruined everything, and I'm going to have to end the stream. So I apologize. There's not much I can do about it. We're going to have this all figured out for the next time, but it's going too far. So unfortunately, we're going to have to end the stream about 5 minutes too early, and I'm a little disappointed about it, but sometimes you can't have nice things. So thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back tomorrow for Coffee with Brodes, and I'm excited. One day closer to Phillies baseball. See you guys.